All right, all right. It is another Tuesday. We are here at the Master Relationship Mechanic Show, giving you the tools to have your best relationship with God, yourself, then others. The perfect way to make sure that we're having our best relationships. And, I love this empowerment month, women empowerment month. We've had these wonderful women on here talking about how to empower because they're out there empowering each other. It's not just about we on here have a motivational speech. This is what these women do. And I have this wonderful guest with me at Reva Hart, and we're gonna learn who she is and what she does. A lot of times we jump on here and talk about what people do, and we forget to talk about who they are. But I mean, it's not somebody, not a stranger to me. You know how sometimes I get on here and this is like the spirit just helped me find this person, but I know this is a wonderful woman of God. She has this wonderful event coming up in April, and it's called My Story. My Story. And it made me think about while we're doing this kingdom building, women in power, and being my sister's keeper, the thing that we leave out a lot of times is we don't like to tell our story. We don't like to tell our story because we don't want people to know everything we've been through to get where we are. But that's dysfunctional because people are thinking, hey, we just got there, we just arrived there. And if they knew our story and our struggle, sometimes they wouldn't be wishing to have walked in your shoes to get there. A lot of people want to be where you are, but they don't want to walk in your shoes to get there. So this My Story event is coming up, and Reva Hart is going to tell us all about it. But first, she's going to tell us who she is. And where my word? Baby, you still holding my word? Y'all don't. My husband flagged the word and found everything for me tonight, so he's still holding my word for me. Thank you, sweetie. So y'all know I had to find us a scripture about giving your testimony because a lot of people don't believe a testimony is necessary. And let's clarify that. A testimony is telling about how good God is because he brought you through something with grace and favor. Y'all go figure out what grace and favor is. If y'all don't know what grace and favor is, I'm not going to, because I can have a preach moment on just grace and favor, and we don't have that kind of much time tonight. So let's start off on Psalms 22:22. 22:22. And it says, I will declare your name to my brothers in the congregation. I will praise you. You who fear the Lord, praise him. And it's talking about always giving him praise. It's talking about telling our stories in front of people. Yes, praise and worship has their private place. But we got to be able to tell our story in front of people because it's meant to encourage them and it's meant to uplift them. And that's what this woman empowerment is about. It's to encourage people to tell their story, to help other people find their way to Christ. Not for them to find their way to us, not to find their way to make us think many God, but to find their way through Christ through our stories. Now, if they are attracted to us and they engage with us and we can help them get closer to God be the glory. But it is not about us. And that's what we got to get out of a place that's about us. So, Ms. Reva Hart, I am loving the My Story journey that's coming up in April. And then the wonderful part about it, it is free. How many times does somebody do something free to give you an opportunity to be uplifted and encouraged? That's what real woman empowerment, real sisterhood is. And I know she's a real sister to me because she makes sure she keep me kept sometimes. Be like, girl, what you doing?
Right. I'm sorry. Yes.
That's okay. I know you're working on your cameras in your life. But start off telling us who you are. Who you are. Not what you do first, but who you are as Reva Hart. Why are you out here empowering women? Who you are. Why is it your heart, your passion, your love?
Well, who I am, I'm Reva. I am a mother of 5 children. I was a mother of 5 before 25. I was homeless. I've been through cycles of trauma. I have stood on the side of a loved one and watched them get shot 5 times dead and know why I was still alive. And that was at the age of 16. And so through my story, this is my story. It has most definitely helped me identify that this is my passion and this is my life mission for God, because he says in Revelations, which is one of my favorite scriptures for this, we have overcame him meaning the enemy, by the blood of the Lamb, which is Christ, and the word of our testimony. And to me, that says that I have an obligation. I have an obligation to tell my story. I have an obligation to share my testimony because I'm an overcomer by the word of my testimony. And so there's people out there that's a ministry, to just tell your story, to let people know what you overcame so that they can have hope. And for me to be a living testimony, to be his living glory here on earth, to show that he's real and he heals and he saves. He's close to the brokenhearted. He is close to the wounded. He is close to the crushed. I'm his child, all that. So, that's who I am. And, I'm passionate about letting people know. I used to be real ashamed, Cortne. I used to be so ashamed to let people know what I went through, because for me, I didn't want to really identify. I was like, I knew that I was going through, but I didn't want people to identify me by that until I really started to understand that my purpose and my passion was being developed through what I was going through. No, God don't want to see me go through pains, but it was most definitely an indicator to let me know what my purpose was. The more I overcame, the more I knew that I was to assist other people in overcoming. And so that's who I am. I'm a wife of 26 years. We just made 26 years in February. Praise God, we're still alive. And we still kicking and pressing our way together, doing this thing called life. And, marriage is great. Being married with someone, no matter if it's good or bad, is great. And so that's a testimony in itself.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When you were talking about God, he's not putting us through pain to punish us. And I think, like you say, that shame comes about because we think this is some kind of punishment, our pain. But the pain is actually because we always say we diamonds. We always say we want to shine. But the thing is, to get there, we got to go through some kind of pressure, and pressure causes pain. So with that pressure to be those diamonds and to be that shine that we want to be, that we claim to be, we got to go through that. Yeah. And if we get caught in that shame cycle, which is never where God has us, because he's not putting condemnation on us. That's the enemy putting us in condemnation. And most of the time, I like to say it's the INAME, the enemy that puts that condemnation on us. Is that enemy within us that shames us, because that is, like you said, not who we want to be identified by. But that's other people's business if they identify us by a situation. Because not one situation makes you, like you said, all of those things you said made up Reva. Not just going to pick up one isolated thing. They all made Reva the woman that she is. And and I'm happy to meet the woman who Reva is. And like the thing is, we all still growing. God still taking us. So I just want people who to listen and say, okay, well, that's your story, and you got a place that you don't. We create a story every day. God is still stretching us. When your story ends, is when you have no breath to tell anything else. And it was wonderful what you were singing about being an overcomer. In Revelations, is our responsibility. Our responsibility to tell our testimony and not be ashamed. And that is some people's ministry. Everybody's looking for a platform or somebody else's platform to get out and tell it. But sometimes your ministry is just simply everybody that calls you, everybody that you run into. And I mean, I don't want to discount any ministry, but because it's everybody has one that's inside of them. Everybody was. And absolutely. So I think in this world, we've gotten so caught up in the socialness of it, because there is the ability to stream. There is an ability to create all of these platforms. But we got to make sure that we're not leaving out the human touch component too, because everybody is not on the social media stream. Everybody is not. Everybody is not in the church pulpit. So for everybody don't need to search to be a preacher. Everybody don't need to search to be in a pulpit. Everybody
Right.
doesn't have to have the same platform, because we all have to reach everybody everywhere. And that is
Right.
what we have to strive to do. Really speak to God and say, okay, where is it that I can be used the most?
Yes.
So saying that, Reva, now, where is it that God is using you? Where's your platform? Who are you speaking to? And why did he assign these certain people to you? Because I noticed you are a purpose finder. And I'm going to say a God purpose finder. A
Yeah.
God purpose finder. Because I don't want people to get confused. We talk about God's purpose for your
Yes.
life, God's will for your life. Because we got a lot
Right.
of things that we do good, but that's not God's purpose for our life. That might make us some good money, but that's not God's purpose for our life.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Reva, I know I asked you a lot, but I mean, I'm
No.
for a lot of you today, sister.
You know, somebody called me, help me out, because I'm a bland. They called it, they said, you just got a whole mixture of everything. Yeah, because, you know, I mean, he's the God of creation. And there's so many different things that he wants us to unfold, to explore and know about ourselves here. And it's not just going to be, oh, I'm just a teacher.
That's right.
It's not going to be that, you know, but to say that, what is my to answer your question, what is my platform? Oh my God, it's been, for me, it's always been in the street. It's just been like, so I kid you not, my neighbors, and you know, my kids, friends, parents, and it's just, you know, community. I have always been, but then God, you know, he started using me and woke me up to just like, you have this platform, this Facebook and Instagram social media platform. And I promise you, Cortne, I did not want to do it.
You were running too.
I want to do it. But it has been such a blessing, the amount of people that is affected. I mean, if it's just one person, I'm just happy that is affected, that is, I'm recognizing and knowing that God is real. And so I've been on Facebook. I do a Facebook broadcast live. It's called Let's Talk About It with Reva. And you was my guest on it, and we talked about grief. And I'm so much feedback from that people was like, can she come back on again? Like, that's like really real, because like we had talked about then, you know, you grieve many things, you know. So I'm a leader in different arenas, and professionally, I'm in corporate, and I direct and build management. So of course I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, God, this cannot be my ministry, right? Like, I've been doing this for years, but guess what, Cortne? He lets nothing go to waste.
Amen.
He lets absolutely nothing go to waste. And I could tell you, like, for the first like 7 years, I was so frustrated, because I'm like, God, I'm supposed to be doing ministry, and I'm just like, I'm here, and and it was one day I just heard him speak to me and was just like, everything you do is going to be used for my glory. I'm not going to let not one thing go to waste. And in the work arena, I started to see how my gifts and my talents were being able to be used there. People wanted to know how do I carry myself? Where did I learn how to do this? And I'm just like, you know, I studied the word, and the word tells me how to be, you know, to teach me my character. And so through that, I was able to start ministering to people on my job. I was able to start building people. I was able to, you know, love on people at work. And so, you know, I've been on the street, at the job. Now I'm on Facebook Live and Instagram, and just wanting to be able to share who I am, what God has done in my life, and what he can do. And also I'm just want to allow other people to come on and have a platform. If they don't have a platform, I want them to come on and have a platform, because everybody has something to say. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a word from God. Everybody do. They might not know that they do, but they do. And, you know, I know that's when you said we're going to talk about purpose, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I thought about it. Well, of course, Cortne knows me. So it's like, because I get so excited talking about purpose, because, you know, you can be living a very frustrating life if you don't know what your purpose is. And the thing is that a lot of people don't know to even how to I call it identifying your purpose, because we all have purpose. And I mean, the first thing that I share with, I have coaching clients. I coach, and I do executive coaching on the job, and I always get that question like, what's my purpose versus my position, or what am I doing? And I always reference to Matthew 28:19-20, which is the commission that we were all commissioned.
Yes.
To the word of God. So that verse, that just settles it. But some people's like, that's not enough. That's not enough for me. I'm not, Reva, I still don't understand. And that's when I go and I just dig a little bit deeper, because if you can't understand, if it's hard for you to receive the Matthew 28:19, the commission, then that means that you just have not even identified that you're a child of God. And so that's where I really love, and I just dig in, because it's just like, if you can accept that you're a child of God, then it doesn't matter what's going on around the world. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You know that your commission is whatever your avenue is, whatever you have. If it's baking cake, if it's making clothes, you're going to use your talents and your gifts to be able to spread the word of God and touch people and do whatever it is God wants you to do, so that he can be made known in the earth. I know I said a lot, but.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? You didn't. And what I really want to go back and emphasize, because I want people to realize, it was a couple of things you said, but that God doesn't let anything we do go to waste.
Right.
A lot of times we spend so much time frustrated because where we are, we're not actually doing what we need to do first. And the thing is, you were having a conversation with God. And the thing is, he was like, I've already given you much, Rick. I've already given you much. So the thing is, we got to do what's required with what God has already given us. We keep asking God for more and more and more. But what have we done with God has already given us? And the thing is, you were already spreading his words. You were already talking, but you was like, I want to do ministry. And the thing is, he was like, you're already doing ministry. And the thing is, we've defined ministry as if we're not in a church edifice. Forgetting that we are the church that God talked about. Go out and spread the word. Forget the spread the word is everywhere that we are, not just amongst people we fellowship with on Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day it is you fellowship at your church bodies. Fellowship is out in the street, like you say, out in your community, where people see the real you, where people know the real church. Because the thing is, we all shine up on Sunday. We all shine up, when we step in the church house. So do they know the real church you? So that's what I'm saying. He said, I'm going to let you speak to the people who know the real Reva. The real Reva's heart, not the Sunday best person. And then when you can show me to your people, then I'll give you a bigger platform. Like you said, you squeezed a little bit. You did it with a little hesitancy. But the thing is, God gave you what you asked for. And that's what we have to be careful. We ask God for these things, and you be like, I don't really want to do it that way. And I got my own personal stories. Like radio, that was really not what I was trying to feel, because I wanted to see people. I wanted to be sitting in the audience, because that's what I had gotten used to. I had got used to a room with people and being able to see their faces, being able to pick up off their vibe. So that was, I was like, God, you took that away. I need people. And he was like, no, you just need me. And I was like, oh, I got you, God. I just need you. I just need you. And that's the thing that we have to understand, like you say, identifying your purpose, because our purpose is not lost. God has got us in our purpose place if we learn how to work where we at. Work God's word where we at, not work ourselves. And I think I saw you today something about it's not a hustle. If we quit trying to hustle people or hustle things or hustle God, ain't hustling God. God has a clear strategic plan for us. And that's what his word says in Jeremiah 29:11. I have a plan. He didn't say I got no hustle for you. He didn't say I got a gig for you that's just a limited time. He said I got a plan that will prosper you for the rest of your life. Not just for this little moment, not for, you know, just to pay this bill. He said, I got a plan to prosper your life. That means we'll take you on further and forever. And, you know, that's, you know, come on, y'all. If y'all get in God's word with me, y'all will understand. I know we use these colloquial words and we grab them and we've yanked them into the Christian body.
Yeah.
But then we got, if you go back and dissect the words, you're like, that hustle ain't my strategy. Yes, we need to work the word. We need to work the word because faith without works. So if we using hustle as work, you got to put some effort. You got to put some energy behind it. But if you using it hustle like on the street, we just trying to make it work. I don't want to just make it work or make the ends meet. I want the prosperity that God promised to me. So I'm making sure I ain't talking too much because I don't want to run out of time, because I want to know, I definitely want you to talk about my story, the My Story event that's coming up. How many days, why did you come up with this beyond Let's Talk? You know, because Let's Talk is wonderful. Wonderful. We got people coming on talking about different topics and definitely empowering women, definitely making us accountable to ourselves, because a lot of times we like to blame the whole world for everything that's going on around us. But Let's Talk about it is real. It makes us look at ourselves and say, okay, like word say, it's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. I'm praying for everybody else's problems, but it's me. It's me. It's me, dirty, ragged, right here, needing your love, your embracement, your changing, your transformation. And I'm talking to me right now. If everybody want to say it's me, oh Lord, right here with me, that's fine. But Reva, tell us why April and what is going to be going on and how to be a part of this, so that we all can hear all of these stories. So we don't have to necessarily walk those same steps. We can get on with our plan.
Right. So I just appreciate you. I don't know, we just jumped in here and got stirred up, but I thank you for allowing me to come on, Cortne. I really do. I appreciate you so much. My story, so it came from, of course, from a personal place first.
That's all right.
And God just shining a light on a part of my life that I had not really shared, but was really something that I needed to speak up about. One, for my own healing, too, because I had noticed some things that were happening in other places. And it kept shining a light on a part of my life that I didn't really want to deal with. And that was being a child living in a house of domestic violence. And so I had to work through it, Cortne, and to God be the glory. Me working through that deep, pushed back area that I was running from, it really unleashed a whole lot of freedom inside of me. It really brought a lot of healing, addressing that past issue. So with that, I started to share my story about being a child of domestic violence, being raised in a home of violence, and how it started a cycle of just trauma, because it changed my perspective at a young age, and I really didn't know it until later in my life, that it changed the way I thought. I started where I woke up every morning and was perceiving that everything would be great. You know how little kids do. Oh, I'm just going to have no, I was getting up every morning to perceive, okay, what's about to happen? What's going to go wrong? Okay, I'm going to school. I'm about to get bullied. Okay, let me get, and so that became my pattern, and that pattern became self-sabotaging. That pattern, and I had to work through it, and I did work through it, but God wanted me to talk about it, and I was like, oh. So through I was like, really? But it's been wonderful. The last 2 years I've been sharing, and this is really last year I started really sharing about it. And so April came, and it's just like, this is the month of we celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior.
Ooh, Jesus, yeah.
And it just really rested on me, and it just happened so quickly. I've learned from going through so much. I don't have time to wait. If I hear him say do something, Cortne, I'm just gonna move. If it fails, it fails, because again, nothing is wasted. But I'm gonna move. So it was something quickly, and I just moved on it. And I thought about the fact that we have power in our testimony. Power in our testimony. And I know so many wonderful women around me that have this powerful testimony, and they are using their voice, but people need to know what you went through, how you got over it, and who did it, right? And so this is where my story came from. And to God be the glory. I had a demand of women. It's like, you want me to do that? I do that. And so that really confirmed to me that this was the right time, the right season, the right moment. And I just really believe that it's going to be explosive. I believe that we're going to shut down the Facebook Live, Facebook waves, and people are going to really be captured and healed through the airwaves like you do on radio. I really believe that it's going to be effective, and we're doing it the whole month of April. It's going to be every Tuesday, Thursday. We got some Saturdays going, but it's the whole month of April. We're just going to have these powerful women coming on, giving their word, their lesson out of their testimony, and to empower and help and hopefully shift some women into the next phase of their life, that they can begin to live or start their healing or, find their purpose, whatever God wants to happen with it. We just want to be able to help and be able to get this out. And so I'm just really excited. I thank you that you're giving me an opportunity to talk about it, because as you can see, I'm pretty fired up about it. I'm I'm pretty fired up. I'm trying not to tell all of my story here, because I'm gonna tell my story on there, and I'm
not gonna pull it out you. I'm not gonna pull it out. I'm not gonna pull it out you. But I mean, the thing is, it's wonderful. The thing is, when you're obedient to God, He will put the people in place, like you say, and it was an abundance and overwhelming, and it will go through. And now it shall not fail, because you weren't hesitant in doing it. And I can think about some things that I've been truly hesitant in doing. I'd be like, God, I know I've tried this before. What makes you think this gonna work this time? And he was like, because I just want you to do it now. We have this thing in our mind. Okay, next year, this time, God, I have more time to market it, more time to plan for it, more time, our way. Yeah. But what he's saying is,
it's in our obedience, even though we can't figure out what it is, how it is. If we just, because I couldn't even envision this, Cortne. I didn't even know how it was going to really unfold. I just kept hearing my story. It's time to say my story. And I'm just like, what? Like, oh my goodness. Like, and so it just unfolded. And then I was able to see the vision. And, hey, I'm not even caught up in the details of it, to be honest, because I just want God to be glorified. I just want Him to be glorified. I want people to see that God is using people like us, ordinary
women who just get up like me and you. And that is wonderful, because the thing is, I love that you're not worried about the details, because I think a lot of times we plan so much that we don't leave room for God to work in our plan, because we've got all these details and all this little box, and it's like, well, God, I want you to jump in this box. He was like, no, I need more room. Get all of this stuff out of the way. And that's sometimes where it fails, because we're trying to write a script for God. And like you say, don't get so caught up in the details. And I'm not telling people not to plan. Now, let me not get carried away. God says tells us to have a plan.
Right.
But still in it planning, He tells us not to get so caught up on planning for the next day. Allow God to be God.
Yeah.
And you allowing God to be God, it was allowing women to step in and say, hey, I got something to say, instead of saying, oh, I've already filled up the calendar, I don't have no room, I've decided what I want to do. You've allowed God to actually live and breathe and make His plan come to life. And that is for somebody out there. They are so caught up in the details right now. They so caught up in the details of their marriage working out perfect. Let God have your marriage.
Yeah.
Trying to look like somebody else. You're trying to get caught up in the details of your career, your education. Allow God to do this. We're in this season right now where so many of us are trying to just take control of the reins. And we don't even have self-control. Why are we trying to control so many other things? And I mean, it's a place. And hey, I'm talking to myself because right now, right now I'm in a place I know I need to let a lot of details go. Because if anybody know me, I like to have everything written out. I am so over schedule oriented sometimes. I'll be like, can you fit into this? And God be like, no, I can't. I need you to cancel all of that. And it reminds me of this song. What is that song, baby? Make room for me. Make room. Make room for me. And every time I hear that song, it just say, okay, God, I gotta just close the calendar, close what I think I need to be doing today, and do what you say is actually going to prosper me and not make me busy. Sometimes the devil is in the details because we get so caught up in the calendar of the distractions of saying we got to do. And I'm not telling nobody not, because God is a God of order.
Yes, he is.
God is a God of order now. But the thing is, there is a time when God will say, stop whatever you're doing. You just got to be very attentive to that voice. And he said, get up, I need you to go here.
Yeah.
Get up, I need you to go call so-and-so.
Right.
You know, so we have to be attentive in saying, oh, well, this is not a really good time for me. But God said, if you do this, I will bless you exactly what you asked me for. Because imagine if all the women who have contacted you, you would have said, oh, well, they not on my list. I ain't got time for them right now. I ain't got time to call them. I'll get with them after I do all of this. And then I say, okay, well, you do that. And let's see how that works out for you.
Right.
And, yes. So that's where we get in that mix of drama. So my story, tell us how to go register, Reva.
So you go to bit.ly, bit.ly/mystory6, and you register for free. We want you to just register. You're going to get a little treat afterwards after you register, after the conference is over. It's going to be broadcast live. We're going to be recording so that the videos can be recorded available afterwards. And all these women have something to offer. They have some kind of service to offer, ministry, something to offer if there are people that need to reach out for anything. And so that's really another amazing thing, that all of them have something that they're like, hey, I'm available. If you need me, I'm available. And so that was just really, I just feel really blessed that they are willing to offer their services. I mean, let me back up. Not for free. All of it is not for free.
Not all the services, the actual
services not for free, but they are equipped to be able to make themselves available after sharing their story, sharing what they went through, giving tools and steps. And if someone needs some assistance in any area that is being shared throughout the month of April, they are having themselves available to be able to reach out to people, to reach out to them, and they'll be able to assist them any way they can. If it's through their paid services or if they have a free product or something like that, they will be releasing that. I can't say which one was going to be, but they'll let us know.
I mean, register, and then you find out.
So that's right. So register. The month of April, I think, is going to be amazing. You can catch it on Facebook Live, Reva Hart. My business page is Reva Hart, and my personal page at Reva Hart 25. And so we'll be broadcasting there, and you can be able to jump on and watch and get engaged and meet some new power tools that's out here in the kingdom that maybe nobody knew about, and maybe some of them did. But hey, we just gonna try to blow up Facebook all month of April with about the blood of the Lamb.
That's right. We are saying we are our sister's keeper. And if you chose to not show up and get an accountability partner, and sometimes our accountability is somebody just confirming something that somebody already said to give you that push in that direction. It does not mean somebody calling you every day to be accountable, but that accountability is somebody pushing you in the direction that God already told you to go in.
Right.
You know, a lot of us act like God ain't told us. God has told us. God has told us. God has spoken to us. And I mean, I can be real transparent here, Reva. I know it's something I'm supposed to be doing, but every time somebody say it, I twist it in another word so I can make it so that word can be very comfortable for me. And I'm gonna keep saying that word until somebody drag me kicking and screaming there. But I'm like, okay, God, okay. That's why I say tonight, I know I'm talking to myself. I gotta, I got to get to where it is that God told me to be in obedience. Because I love empowering other women. I love, I mean, if y'all don't know, y'all know I love last Tuesday of every month, of course, because I get to sit next to my husband and make him come home a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But of course, my gift is empowering the left behind to help them find their new now. But the thing is, we got to understand we all got somebody we need to talk to in different ways. And I think we talked about last week, sometimes your gift expands and we just become to a place when somebody comes to takes us outside of our comfort zone. And we're going to go back like what Reva was saying, that she was taking out her comfort zone from the streets and the community to now to do it on another level and actually start interacting with other women. Right. And what that means is, okay, now I got to get it sharpened a little bit because now I need to deal with some other people. So that when God says you're going to have to dig deeper in yourself. So it's some of us, and I'm going to be real, I got some dirt still to deal with, Reva. I don't know if I'm ready yet. I gotta dig out of some of this dirt. And I know y'all say, you talk a lot about yourself or something. Honey, you just don't even know. You don't even know. That's why I said we all got dirt we gotta get through to, dig out of this dirt that we got in our life to for people to really see how full grown we can get. And the thing is, if we in the Christian body could understand that shame dirt, if we can get out of that shame dirt and we can actually start putting out the fruit that God has told us to do, they'd be like, whoa, look at that kingdom. That kingdom is big. Them some bad Christians, because God is empowering them. Yes. So I am looking forward to the whole series of my story. I have been enjoying Let's Talk since you have began.
Thank you.
It's the transparent and real women that are coming on to tell what it is we need to do as the women in the mirror. And I mean, I don't want to just talk about women. Okay, so if you get on Let's Talk and you are a man, jump on because sometimes it helps you to deal with the woman in your life. Because you will understand some of the things that she's going through, either in her workplace, either with kids, or either just out in ministry. So, it's a time, I know y'all always hear me talk about my husband. He's sitting up in this room with me all the time and say, okay, what's this crazy chick talking about? Whoa, so let me see what she's saying. And then we have a little conversation. I don't know what you mean by that. What are we talking about? So that expands and helps our relationship. Even though he's my number one supporter, don't get me wrong. But men, show up for your women. Even if you got to go register them to the conference, it's free. Come on. And if you hear something and they need that tool from that particular person that's speaking, give it to them. Gift it to them. It could be your mama who needs it. There's no age limit on us empowering women. We're not talking about just young women. We're talking about you might be young in the spirit, but give them that resource so that they can grow and become a mature Christian. Now, I don't just want them to be of old age. I want everybody to become a mature Christian so we can continue to reach back and empower each other as women. Yeah. Because me and Reba ain't going to be here always. I mean, one day. So I know I need to reach back and get some people. I mean, I need to reach back and touch my own sisters, touch my own daughters. I got a granddaughter coming. Woo, Jesus. So, I mean, I got to touch the next generation that's coming. So, it's just like that whole excitement of knowing, hey, you're growing. But sometimes we have to recognize there is an expiration date on each and every one of us. Do what God has told us to do. And if we're planting seeds into other people's lives, you don't have a problem letting another tree come up. Right. Another tree come up. I need another tree every once in a while to come up around me. I want some shade. I want some protection too. Right. So okay.
Whoa, you need to say that again. I mean, because you're so right that, we have to be able to accept each other, because we all really still in our own lane, even though we all on the highway, but we still all in our own lane. God has made us uniquely. He designed us uniquely different, but he gave us something inside of us for us to all operate together. And it's just a matter of us being able to take on his characteristics to be able to not chop down the tree that's coming up on the side of us, you know?
Yeah. I need the fruit of this new tree. Hey, I'm a Georgia peach, and I might be tired of peaches.
Exactly.
I might want a little apple. I might want some pears. I might want some oranges and pecans. You know? So I want all the fruits of the spirit around me, so I can partake of all the goodness of God. And that's what we have to understand as women. We want fruitful women around us. I want other positive women around me. I want other women who are encouraging other women, not just encouraging me, because I want you to tell me the truth about me. Now, I don't want you to be just telling me stuff to make me feel good and float around. But that's what I'm saying. We need real women around us to tell us the real deal about ourselves. Not to bring each other down or condemn each other, but to uplift us. And so that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about women empowerment. That is what you're doing, because you're finding people who are willing to get out of their own dirt. Get out of their own dirt. Get out of their own dirt. Put their dirt out there and say, I'm ready to throw a little of this dirt on you. Because you need some fertilizer too. And help you grow. Spiritually into somebody else. I got time for you. We've gotten to the place in the Christian body that we say, okay, we only got time for God, but God, God needs our time. God needs our praise. He needs our worship. He needs our study. But then after we do that, we have an assignment to go out into the world and spread his word. We gotta go spread his word. We gotta go spread his word. We gotta go share his word. We about edifying and uplifting and enriching the kingdom, so the kingdom is growing. I'm not talking about bricks. I ain't talking about bricks. I ain't talking about throwing out bricks and making buildings. I'm talking about us, the church, the body. So more people hear us speaking God's real word, the truth. So people are not confused about the funnel of the different interpretations they get. They are sure and they're clear about what God is saying. So Reva, I'm excited about my story. I'm telling you, I'm excited about every woman that's showing up on the platform of my story. I will be sharing it on this page this month. For the rest of this month, I'll be sharing it on this page for all of April. So if you forget to register, I promise you, you're going to get so bombarded with my story. And I mean my story. I'm talking about my story that's going on by Reva Hart. She's presenting this so that we are understanding what testimonies are for. Testimonies are to help each other to get strength. Say, I know you did it, sister. I can do this too. Because God is not a unchained. Yeah, God is not a respecter of persons. We get so carried away and say, well, God did that for Reva. Yes, but God will do that for each and every one of you too if you say, help me. That's all God is waiting for you to say is help me. Help me, help me, help me. And then he'll probably send a Reva in your life.
Or Cortne, that's right.
Here I am to do the assignment. Yes, and that is what is so absolutely wonderful. So April, and before April, y'all go follow Reva Hart now, so y'all do not miss the Let's Talks that's coming up, because she has a lot of Let's Talk events that's coming up. So you all get your reminders on Facebook so you can be a part of that community. Definitely go ahead and get registered for my story. So if you miss it, the link will be here so you can get registered for my story. She has a wonderful clip that's advertising all the women that are coming on. So I don't want you to miss it, because I don't want you to miss your blessing. And the blessing is not just hearing one person's story. The person is hearing how multiple people God brought through, and God has not changed. It's we think we don't need God anymore. We got to get back to the place that we understand God is the only thing that we need. He is sufficient. He is sufficient. And if we recognize God in all his characteristics as a healer, as a provider, as our Lord, and I mean, God has so many characteristics. God is omnipresent. So that means he can be present for Reva, he can be present for me, and every last one of you all, whether you're watching it, whether you're listening to it, however you're here, God can be present for all of us at the same time. You know, such thing we standing in line. He's standing in line. God is standing over all of us, and he just say, bam, right there. That's right. Give it all to us at the same time. You're waiting because you're not ready. You're waiting because you have not matured enough to accept what you're asking God for. So get mature enough to get what God is asking, what you're asking God for, and quit saying God won't give it to you. He got it. He holding it. He waiting for you
Yeah.
to mature up to get it. So woman up, man up, get to the place
Yes.
of your spiritual maturity that God is calling you, and put away
Yes.
those childish things. And I know, Reva, I want you to give me a final thing. What is my story, Reva Hart? Yeah. So
Okay.
we got to close out. I know I'm yapping.
So you want me to give my story, Reva Hart?
Just tell us what
Okay.
would be just a little title, a little tidbit. You can give me a one sentence and say, who is Reva Hart?
Broken.
Broken. God is in using them broken pieces, though. They some beautiful broken
pieces. That's right. Broken, many broken pieces. But here I am. So that's a little bit. Many broken pieces. I know it sounds like somebody else's story. That's why I'm telling it, because I want other people to know we all broken. We all have, and we don't have to hide behind shame and shame and guilt. God has freed us. He doesn't even see us like that. He doesn't even see us, Cortne, like that. And I just, for me, I just was so lost in my brokenness. I didn't know who I was. And so the moment I was able to start shuffling some of that away and getting past it, and I realized, oh my God, I am a child of God. I am forgiven. I'm blameless. I'm beautiful. I am spotless. Oh my God. It just shifted everything. And the thing is, it took me too long. So I am now just proclaiming,
trying to help people shift quickly.
Yes, shift quick. It's a fire inside of me about connecting people with their identity, which leads them to just start booming in their purpose, which eventually in the end starts telling them to tell their story, which then they become overcomers, and then they're reaching God's children and saving them through their story. That's Reva right there.
Saving people through the story. Yes. Reva, I love that. You all go follow Reva Hart, and y'all know I can't leave out of here without a prayer. So come on, hub, touch, agree. You know how we do this. We don't leave out of here without you rolling up. Come on, roll up. Y'all know he likes this behind the scene camera thing where he just touched my hand. All right. Father God, it's always come to you with thanksgiving. And y'all say thanksgiving, yes, for the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, but everything that has worked out for God's good in our life. Today, in this moment, for just showing up, God has something on the line for each and every one of us. If we just peel back and decide to push away some of this dirt in our lives, God says that I have a place for you to stand so I can prosper you. So find that place, people. God wants you to be so prosperous in your life that you don't even know. Just read his word, find his promises, identify what you can stand on and believe. Believe in little baby steps if you need to believe, but just start walking. Just get up wherever you are and say, God is. And whatever you need to put behind it, God is that for you right now, for you to get to your next place. God, we are so glad that you allowed us to be here today. Whether you're listening in through a stream or on the radio, God says that his word will not go out in void. His promises will come back to each and every one of us fulfilled. All we have to do is say, God, help me. I'm the one in need of a blessing. And quit acting like we are blessing somebody else. God is blessing each and every one of us. Be grateful no matter how small the blessing is. If you're able to hear right now, if you're able to see right now, if you're able to be engaged right now, thank God for those blessings. Yes, somebody might need a financial blessing, but God, be thankful for your health to be able to go get a financial blessing. God, you might need somebody on the line who is looking for a blessing because they need some food right now. God, send it to them. God, send them their right mind. God, send them their manna for the day. God, be what it is they need to be if they need to be a doctor. But God, do not let us be so blind and have blinders on that we only see us. God, never let us forget that we are supposed to be encouragers. We're supposed to edify. We're supposed to uplift. God, Keep us to our assignment so that we can obtain the promises that you have for us in your word. God, empower us to be who it is that you have called us to be. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen, 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 amen. Thank you, Reva. Thank you, Reva. And I know I told y'all I'm going to play this same song all month. I'm talking about some girl power. Because when this song is going over the airwaves every Tuesday, girl power. We are talking about girl power, not because we're talking about we more powerful than God. It is the power that God is in us. That's what I'm talking about, that girl power. Yeah. He has gifted us, and we're not ashamed of the gifts that he has given us. And now we get down here and we be powerful because we are doing what God said that we're supposed to do. We take our power and we give it and we share it so that everybody else is empowered by God's word too. I'm not ashamed of God's word. I'm not ashamed of the things that God has done for me. I'm not even ashamed of some of the stuff in the mess that I'm in right now because God is working on me to be praise God. Yeah, so thank you, Reva. Thank you, Reva. And I know I'm over my little time, so the song is getting ready to jump on in. Love you, love you, love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
We've been married about 15 months, and we happened to meet on the internet, by the way.
You know, at first, I was like, I don't know, maybe he's from Chicago, he might be a slick. And we got to talking, and I realized he was a man of integrity. This is the best age ever. Because you've been through some experiences and you know some things that you didn't understand earlier in life.
You can appreciate it, I think, now that you can look back on certain things.
You know, true passion is grown out of understanding and knowing someone.
The power of our love is integrity and honesty.
We just tell each other the truth, even when we don't
agree.
Yeah, exactly. We agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's right. My love for you is
what?
Genuine and real.
My love for you is complete.
I don't believe Jesus, and he is Here you go.
Thank you.